Yeah. Three bearded brothers, they take the mic. Baker by name, they bring the hype. Dropping hot takes in the podcast zone. Sports debates from the comfort of home. Bakers in the booth, they speak their mind. Breaking it down, play by play, rewind. Stats and passion, you can feel the flame. From the field to the court, it's all fair game. One's got stats like a numbers machine. One spins story sharp, crisp and clean. The other cracks jokes, but his points still land. Together they're the trio with the hottest brand. Bakers in the booth, they speak their mind. Breaking it down, play by play, rewind. Stats and passion, you can feel the flame. From the field to the court, it's all fair game.
And welcome back to another episode of Beer to Baker Banter with College Juice Podcast, Beer Juice. Welcome, everybody.
Thanks for having us again.
What's going on?
Heck yeah, man. We got some golf to talk about. We are going to dip our toes in the water with a little bit of college football. And we got some rankings to do. We'll see if there's some time for baseball, but we got the dog days of baseball hitting us right now. So let's get into it. So real quick recap here with our golf championship, our suicide poll. Right now, Trent is leading with a 96. I'm rounding up second with a 97. Steve is rounding out with 131. Trey is at 165, and Kev is at 204. So that's where we're at. It's honestly, though, it is obviously still anybody's game because
Kev, you're probably the best golfer out of all of us. So you know, I think that's only right.
Justin Thomas screwed me last major, not even making the cut.
you know what though, I feel like it's the people that pick college basketball based on the colors of the team names and everything, that's me right now with golf because I am a horrible golfer.
And AI. And AI, yeah, I was gonna say Mr. Grok algorithm guy.
No, it didn't pay off.
What'd your computations have this week, Tyler?
Well, maybe I stayed away from it this week. One with a little big old gut right here. But all right, so we cannot pick the same winner, cannot pick the same surprise winners for either. Trey, I think you said you wanted to know who you cannot pick. You cannot pick McCarthy, Straka, Neiman, or Cantley.
All right, used all my sleepers up.
Yep. Trent, you can't pick Morikawa, Zalatoris, Scheffler, or Hovland. Steve, you can't pick McIlroy, DeChambeau, Lowry. And Kev, you can't pick McIlroy, Finau, Thomas, or Mitchell. Finau, sorry. Meow for now.
Finau, Hovland. Two names.
What did I say? Hovland. All right.
Hovland, yeah.
All right. Kev, being the golf guy that you are, you want to start us off? You guys want to go top 10s first here and just kind of All right. Go ahead, Kev. Give us your top 10 guy.
All right. My top 10 guy, he's had some success at the US Open, making some top 20s. I don't believe he's had the top 10 here, but I'm going kind of a little outside the range, just feeling a little bit. He's the Ryder Cup captain. It's Mr. Keegan Bradley. He's plus 450 for top 10 is what I got.
It's actually pretty good odds for a top 10 guy. Keegan Bradley. A lot. Okay. Steve, go ahead.
For top 10, I'm going to go Tommy Fleetwood. From my research, looked up limited research mixed with the gut. Everyone talks about how great he is with his irons, with how tough this course is looking. I think that's going to come big. So I'm backing Tommy.
Cool.
And the odds, I think, is plus 280 on FanDuel.
Okay. Trey, who you got?
Well, this is top 10, right?
Top 10.
So I'm gonna go with the guy I already picked as a winner. He's coming off his, I think, third live golf win this season. That's Joaquin Neiman, plus 225. Also, I think I'll wait till Trent goes, but I just want to give my opinion on what people are keep talking about with this course.
Just don't keep hitting your desk.
Oh my God, I keep bumping it.
Send out Morse code again. Oh gosh.
and scribbles.
Yeah. My top 10 kind of goes to the idea of iron play, because I know that's the concern is the very high rough, right? The thick high rough. So I'm going Jordan Spieth.
Jordan Spieth.
He's one of my favorites too. Like I like cheering for him. But a Texas guy there, Steve, for you, right?
Yep.
So there you go.
A couple of them.
He's another one. I think we talked last couple weeks ago about Kupka too, not being up there. But I feel like Spieth hasn't done a whole lot lately.
Kepka.
Yeah,
Like
he's
Kepka.
Do you like on purpose, Tyler?
so
Yeah.
distant, but
There's a
I like
bar. There
cheering
used
for
to be a
him, too.
bar in Pittsburgh called Kupka.
Oh, God.
All right.
Plus 430, by the way, on my odds for top 10.
All right. So I'm gonna go with a guy that I just told Steve I had kind of a vision on the TV here before we got on for a TV show called The Connors. So therefore, I'm going with Corey Connors. This is the first time I've picked him in anything so far this entire time.
I think Kev's frozen.
I think he might be too. It's either that or
I'm back.
At first I thought he fell asleep.
He was praying.
He was judging your
He was
pick.
praying.
You just couldn't believe it.
He's like, oh my God, Corey Connors. Oh. Corey Connors for top 10 is plus 330. And then I'll start back here. Top five I'm going with John Rahm. So I don't know. Again, I limited research this time, not a whole lot of AI involved, but yeah, John Rahm top 5, and that's plus 225, which is not the best juice, but it is what it is. Trent, who's your top 5?
Yeah, John Rahm, he came on pretty strong last tournament. He had me a little nervous on my Scotty pick. I thought he was going to push him there for a little while, but I'm taking a guy that I think a hot name last year. I'm going Xander Schauffele for a top 5 finish.
Shit.
Plus 360. Just think he shows up in big time tournaments, and there's a lot of hype about how hard the course is. And once again, he's steady, and I think he's safe. So top 5 for me.
Yeah, that's my top 5 pick too. Mainly because of what Trent said, but he also doesn't. I don't think he has a PGA Tour win yet. So I think he's long overdue for how good of a player he is.
All right, Steve, who you got?
Tyler, I'm in the same boat with you, man. I roll with John as well. What odds did you find?
I had 225.
225. Okay.
Yeah.
I found 220. So what book is that at? Just in case.
That was on DraftKings.
DraftKings.
Yep.
All right. Might hop over there. Get a couple pennies on that one.
A couple of shekels.
Yep.
Shekel.
Wasn't that they used to call money in the old days?
Like pirate money.
Okay. Couple of
the
shekels.
blue.
Sure.
Oh man.
All right, Kevin, you got top 5.
So this is gonna be 3 people on him. I'm going John Rahm as well. I think he has a good tournament.
You know what this means. Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was
Finish
just gonna
your thing
say
and then-
he's a pretty good driver of the ball, which will be key trying to stay out of that rough, and he's good around the green as well. So
it's good. Nobody likes balls in the rough. For sure. But this means there's got to be a beer bet going on here. So if you guys are down,
Oh yeah.
and listen, because you guys are elsewhere, I will even cover your beers for you.
Wow.
John Rahm finishes higher than Schauffele. We
That
win.
deal. I'll take that deal.
I'm in.
Deal?
Yep.
Okay.
How the hell
All
not?
right, let's
Make
do
it
it.
interesting.
All right, good. I was hoping so bad. I'm like, man, I hope Kev picks one of them, like Schauffele or Rahm. I was
Wow.
like, then we can just go like a whole group beer bet here.
I like it. And no matter
All right.
what, who wins, man, I'm gonna take a couple shots. So
Sure.
I'm winning no matter what.
Yep.
Yes. Golf shots and actual shots.
Yep.
That's right.
All right. Do we? I don't remember if we do surprise winner or do we do winner first?
Let's do surprise winner.
Yeah.
All right. You ready, Kev?
Yeah. My surprise winner, he's been top 20 a couple times at the US Open, been playing well recently. It's Harry English, and he's at plus 10,000.
Real quick. I mean, this is kind of funny. I'm just going to jump on board here because my surprise winner is also English. So,
Wow.
What the hell?
man, that is really, really weird. Like, really
That is-
weird.
That is wild. What are his
I
odds?
didn't have 10,000.
Yeah, I
Wow.
got plus 10,000.
Now I feel
was on-
obligated.
Wait,
to
Harry, you had Harry English too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
I'm glad we all researched the same spot, boys. Put me down too for Harry English.
Nah.
Y'all want to get rid? No, Trey, I'm dead serious. Really
There's no way.
Normally we can't talk about stuff before the show, so I had no idea who he's picking. So
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
What are the chances?
you guys want to get
Dude,
rich?
that's-
You listeners want
I-
to get rich?
Man.
I mean, I definitely got to throw a shekel on it now. Just
That's
for
what I'm saying.
A
That
Ruby,
pirate
something.
cash.
Where is
Oh,
Harry English
well-
coming from?
Well,
Jeez.
I'd like to clarify because I made a stupid comment because I was confusing my surprise pick with my top five. I follow Trent with Xander Schauffele. He's absolutely won tournaments before. The guy who I'm picking is my surprise winner is plus 4,000 odds is Tommy Fleetwood, who I don't think has won a PGA tournament yet. That's why
Alright.
I was mismatching him in my head and my takes. But yeah, I think Tommy Fleetwood's way too consistent and like solid of a golf player to not have won anything, let alone a major. And I think he does it.
So hey, he wins. Steve's also winning money there too.
Yeah.
That's what we're about.
What the hell are the chances of 3 Harry Englishes?
Yeah, that's crazy.
At
Like,
101 odds over here, we're just gonna.
Yeah. Like what the hell?
Oh man.
Man. All
Harry
right.
English.
I guess I got to give mine, huh? I'm actually I'm going with my.
Just don't give
It's
us your
Harry
Harry.
English.
Harry English.
Yeah.
Want to get rich, Trent?
I mean, if I'm playing strategy, it wouldn't be a dumb idea, with the suicide pool. So I'd
Oh,
stay with
here we
you.
go. Here we go.
But
Okay,
I'm not
hold on.
doing that.
That's more cheating than my AI.
Oh my god, I
No.
didn't do it. Relax, I didn't do it. Okay, I'm going with my favorite golfer,
Cheater.
and he does qualify for a surprise winner. I'm going Brooks Koepka, and I got him for plus 7,000 on ESPN.
What?
And then if you use your 20% boost they give you there, it gets to plus 8,400. So
Wow.
I like it. I like getting Brooks at those odds. So I'm taking Brooks. He's like known for doing something out of nowhere. Like this course is supposedly going to be the hardest ever, right? I don't know. Maybe it's just what I'm following on X and whatnot. But like,
Yeah, that's what they're called.
it would just be a typical like Brooks move to just come out and be like, yeah, it's not that bad, it's whatever. I just, I hit the ball straight. It's like, I don't know. I like his approach about golf where he's kind of critical of the game and how it used to be played. And I don't know. He's kind of new age. So I'm with him.
Tyler, before we get into winners, I kind of want to hear what Trey has to say about the course. He said some
The rough is crazy, and that's what's getting all the attention. And it should. I mean, the video. I don't know if you guys saw the video of Phil Mickelson trying to hit a flop out of like the green side rough. He whiffed 3 times, like just completely underneath the ball. But I think the greens are going to be the bigger story because the roughs are hard to hit out of and stuff. Those players are good and they're going to hit fairways. It's the greens that are running at 15 on the stimp meter, angled 20 degrees downhill, and they're putting on glass. Like you can't breathe on that ball and it's going to be off. And even like approaching the greens, you have to land it in front of the green for it to bounce up and roll on. So I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty crazy. Like Ben Griffin, the guy that's been tearing it up, said he wouldn't be surprised if +4 is the winner. He'd be happy with that.
Whoa.
And he thinks that he'd have a chance to win.
I'll send a clip to the Bitter Baker Instagram, but a buddy of mine sent a video of Scotty on the greens just practicing, and it was like he hit it up the hill. Like you didn't even see it. It's just up the hill. He's like, watch how crazy this goes. And just goes up and just turns back down and just he's like, this is nuts. So
What the hell?
Yeah, it is. It's I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You can avoid the rough, but you can't avoid the greens. That's my take on it.
I mean, I've been seeing some books for like winner to be -4 or better is like plus 200, and that's like crazy for any type of.
Whoa.
Because normally these guys are winning at 10 under, 11 under.
Right.
Can I ask you? Do they? Is this course only this hard for this tournament, or like is it always that hard? Like, because it's in Pittsburgh, correct?
Yeah.
It's a pretty difficult course, but one of the things that the USGA likes to say about the US Open is that this will be the hardest test that the PGA that all the golfers will go through all year. That's what they purposely set it up to be the most difficult course they play all year.
Okay.
They're like notorious for making the US Open. Yeah, like he said, they try to make it the hardest. He's right.
Huh.
It's also the biggest.
And so that's any course is that then.
Yeah. So every their goal, and again the USGA president the last couple of years is even, I'm gonna not get the quote exactly right, obviously, but he's come out and said like their goal, to Trey's point about the golfer saying he'd be happy with +4 winning, that's their goal. Their goal is for nobody to be under par.
Wow.
So where would you guys sit on that line of -4, or what did you say, -4 under?
What I've seen is -4 unders plus money, like around +250. I don't, odds might have changed on that. I do remember seeing that -2 or better was the first time it gets to -120. So like, and then -1, and then the other crazy part about that is -1 or worse is -105. So like, all the books are expecting it to be -1 or worse, basically.
Yeah,
that would be nuts. Imagine what the cut's going to be then.
Just feel like guys
plus
like
plus 25.
the last time it was here it ended up being +6.
Okay.
So I mean, I think it'll end up being harder. There's supposed to be some rain, which will cause it to be, even though that should cause the greens to at least stick a little bit on iron shots, it's still, it'll be more difficult out of the rough, right? Because now you're dealing with wet, long grass. And then your ball's not going to go as far in the fairway if you do hit the fairway. So now all of a sudden you're hitting longer irons into the greens. So the weather will play a little bit of a role in it too. So it should be an interesting major.
Is it supposed to rain all weekend?
I don't think so. I think it's just a couple of days.
Okay.
I know here where Steve and I are, it's like on and off all weekend. I don't know about where you guys are up there, but
I think it's similar. I think certain areas are getting hit
now.
harder.
He said Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's raining Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
yeah.
Thursday, no rain predicted right now.
So, and then it's also the biggest cut in all the tournaments so far because the USGA allows more players. So it starts somewhere close to 200 and it'll go down to 60 at the cut window. So that's also why you're seeing like some of the higher odds, like for Koepka, even because Harry English is actually a pretty solid player, but the odds are up just because there's more players in the pool.
Yeah. Gotcha. That makes sense. This will be interesting. All right, you guys ready for winners?
Yes, sir.
Want me to be boring and start it off?
Sure.
All right, I am taking him. I'm going with Scotty Scheffler. I figured.
I mean, it's either now or the next one.
Yep, time is now. I figured, hit the iron while it's hot. Pun intended.
Huh.
Yep.
Anybody else
got-
taking Scotty?
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
all right.
it's fair.
Let's do it up.
I'm taking the next best odds, and that's Bryson at plus 750. I think just his ability to crush the ball, you can take away. He has an advantage over most players. So, and it's actually decent around the greens too. He doesn't get enough credit for that. So,
It's a 2-time U.S. Open champion, also.
yeah.
Yep. And I am Trey. I also am on Bryson. 5 top 6 finishes in his past 6 majors. So obviously want him to win it, but even just to finish high, it helps us in our standings. So I'm on Bryson too.
All right, Kev.
Forcing
But-
my
but-
hand.
He's gonna get paid, by the way.
I was
Bryson.
gonna
I don't know
keep
if you guys know
Scotty
that.
for the British, but now that it's
Ooh.
2-2, I
Hey,
guess I'll
you
just
know-
have to.
you
go
know
with
what, though?
Scotty
But
this time.
That could be your secret weapon, though.
Well, yeah, I was hoping to keep him because I think everybody else has used him, right?
You can't do surprise. No, there's no
Trey?
way the surprise winner is going to be.
I don't.
Well,
I
hold
think
on.
Trey would be the only
Yeah.
one that hasn't used
Yeah.
Scotty yet.
Oh, okay.
You pulling the trigger?
Yeah, I'll use him this time. I was thinking
All right.
I was thinking about taking more Conley, but I'll take Scotty this time.
I will say, I mean, if Scotty does win, that would be your second winner pick.
Yeah,
Actually, Steve, you too, because that's right. You had
yeah, we
McElroy
both
too.
had we both had Rory at the Masters.
You guys would both have. Ooh, that'd be awesome.
Hey Tyler, but if Bryson wins, it's my second. Why don't you give me any credit, man? Come on, Ty. Jeez, man. Oh. He's mad I'm one spot in front of him. I'm 1 point. Right. He was even remember today, he was claiming he was in first. I'm like, no, dude, I'm in first by 1. He's like, no, Trent, I have the picture. I know it. I'm like, eh.
I did not claim. I texted
You
everybody
did.
the exact score. Oh my god.
He did. We were out the other night. It was at Trogs, actually.
Yeah, it was claimed.
We do have a pretty funny bet with a friend who's got some serious repercussions if Shane Lowry does not make the cut. Just putting it out there. Ross, good luck. I hope Shane at least makes the cut for you.
You know
Shane.
what though? Like now knowing that they take more for the cut though, that kind of
No, it's not.
No, it's still less.
No,
it's 60. They're only taking 60
yeah.
for the cut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's saying you start with a huge
There's
number of
there's a
what-
bigger group
Okay.
in the first 2 rounds.
I got you. Okay.
But they're gonna go down to 60.
Okay. All right, never mind then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So our buddy has to drink a beer very uniquely. If he, there you go. And we were just like bullshitting.
There you go. There you go. Oh, there you go.
It's going to butt chug if Lowry doesn't make the cut.
We were just like bullshitting.
I got to
that-
pause in the show here. How the hell chug a what?
Yeah. On the podcast too. No, I'm just
No, but if
You might
if
get
Lowry
good for that
wins,
one.
Bottle up there and just
yeah,
So he's
Trey,
got to have
Trey,
some of the
what?
system.
yeah.
Trey, why don't you tell us?
Trey's the only one probably with experience, is my guess. So Trey, go ahead.
Whoa.
a beer colonoscopy. I can't say that word right now.
That's
They
how
do
Trey
make
got
beer.
the
They make beer butt catheters, not beer. Sorry, butt catheters for people that are incontinent of stool.
Easy there. Don't get too sciencey, right, Tyler? Jeez.
That's how Trey got the.
That's
how
wild.
Trey got the.
Hey, what's your buddy's name?
Ross.
Ross. Good luck, man. I'm cheering for you, bro.
Right.
Well, hold on.
I'm praying
Let's
for you.
I'll
let's
clarify.
be honest. Let's be honest. Though. He was the one that offered it.
Yes.
I
Yes.
take it
I
back.
was
Hey man, you deserve what you get, man.
he literally proposed this idea of if Lowry wins, he gets to because we were just talking US Open at Trey's rehearsal dinner, and we're like, who you got? And name a winner now. And he's like, Shane Lowry. And he goes, if he wins, I get to do an episode with you guys on your podcast and blah blah. And we're like, well, what if he loses or doesn't make the cut? And then that's where that came about. And it was like, whoa, what? Like, then we messed with them all day at the wedding. Like, did you just hear Shane Lowry dropped out? Back injury. Like, that's
Hey Hey, good luck, man.
Well,
But sounds like you want to do it. So
Yeah. to each his own.
Yeah.
yeah, no judgment here, man. I don't know. I've never heard that.
He's confident.
He's
gotta
really
check-
gonna have to crack it open, guys.
Does he get to choose the beer at least?
Yeah,
Oh,
Guinness. He said
Oh,
it's Shane Lowry. You got to do a Guinness.
Oh man, that's awesome. All right. Anything else, golf? All right. So let's jump into some way too early college football stuff. And I mean, Steve and Kevin, you guys want to kind of take it off, and then we'll kind of all chime in and give some picks. And all
Yeah,
that
of
cool
course,
stuff too.
of course. So yeah, we're gonna hop into our way too early our conference winners here, and I'll go over the top 3 odds of each conference. Even you don't have to pick out of those teams. I'm just gonna go over the top 3. You don't have to go through the million teams that are in the SEC, the million teams that are in the Big Ten. So I'm gonna kick it off first with the ACC. Top 3 teams in ACC odds wise are Clemson at plus 125, Miami at plus 425, and Louisville at plus 700. So I'll kick it off to the boys. By the way, I want to shout out Tyler for that intro song, the new intro.
Thank you.
Whoever that artist was, tip my hat to him.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm glad y'all got in the studio and threw down some
mystery.
bars.
That's a mystery. So
which one of you guys want to go first?
Can I ask a question though? I think the thing that surprises me the most here is Miami still being that high.
What makes you?
I don't know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I know Cam Ward leaving. Do they have another guy that's going to kind of just seamlessly
Carson Beck?
Carson Beck.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Carson Beck.
That's right. That's right. I forgot
this last
Completely
transfer
forgot about
window got paid a good amount of money. So
he could be
as
with
far
his
as-
girlfriend, who they just ended up cheating on him, and then they broke up. But
well, I
Yeah,
mean,
is
he
it
moved to
the-
Miami. You know, he's driving around with a Ferrari.
and he got his car stolen. You know, he's had a rough.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's had a rough go, but I mean, he'll be all right. It's not his first time at a big school surrounded by beautiful women, even though it's probably a little different from Georgia to Miami. But you know, it's
just a little bit.
you know, I think he was dating one of the twins from the
The
basketball
Cavender
team.
twins.
Yeah, so, I mean,
Kev was all on them. The Cavenders, yes.
so
They're not usually in my range, but
Hey,
I made an
sweat.
exception.
Made him sweat a little bit.
as talent wise, they're still going to be good at wide receiver position. They had some guys come in from transfer portal. Defense, they had a shake up on defense. They got a new defensive coordinator, so that's one big thing that they needed to fix from last year, because they could score on anybody, but they couldn't stop anybody. So it was a shootout every time. Talent at quarterback position. Carson Beck is played in some of the biggest games, so I don't think pressure would get to him. He is a different quarterback than Cam Ward. He can't extend plays the same way that Cam could, so that's a big issue. But they also address their offensive line, so he'll be getting blocked for, and he'll have time to throw the ball. So that's my argument for them being the second best odds for winning the ACC.
No,
I can start with the pick if you guys need one here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Kick us off,
I'm going with the favorite. I know it's not exciting, but the big thing that has sold me on it is I think when Clemson was, I'd say in their prime, right? They won the ACC from like 2015 to 2020 every single year. Now, granted, ACC wasn't very competitive during that time, but I think the addition of Allen, getting that defense back to being like an elite, like remember how deep their defensive line was? Like their third team defensive linemen were like top 5-star recruits. So I think getting a good D coordinator back and I'm going to say good D coordinator because look what he did with Penn State last year. They were legit in his first year. So I think that's going to be the difference for them. I mean, it doesn't hurt to get a quarterback coming back with experience, playoff experience at that. But I'm actually going to focus more on the fact that if they can get their defense to be hell, just better than what they've been the past couple years now. The coach is slipping my mind. Who's Oklahoma's coach that they lost? What was his name? It's killing me because he was the D coordinator at Clemson for all those years. But damn, Venables, that's it. Yeah, like that was he had a system there. Like he always had a crazy, weird, like big ass middle linebacker. But that defensive line was always they were just always good. So that's where I'm at. I'm going Clemson with ACC.
Yeah, I'm with you, Trent. Steve made a very compelling argument and almost convinced me with Georgia, but not Georgia. I'm sorry, Miami. I was thinking of Carson Beck. But I think, I like Cade Klubnik coming back as a multi-year quarterback. Knows the system, knows Dabo, and also Dabo is now using the transfer portal, which is new this year. He got a defensive lineman, and I think a wideout that's pretty good too. So just his willingness to adapt to the times, I think, says a lot. And because he was pretty headstrong on not doing that stuff and even like paying players. But I don't know. I can just see Clemson kind of having a big year with an experienced quarterback and a revamped system, kind of like Trent was pointing to.
So I am on the Tar Heels. I'm buying the hype, baby. Bill Belichick era. It's back.
So is he going to be coaching the team or is she?
Dude, I don't give a fuck who's coaching the team. Bill Belichick is there. The team.
Then you obviously do. I don't care who's coaching. Bill Belichick's there.
No, but I just think, I mean, you want to talk about, a winner across the board. It's obviously a different game at the college level than it is in the NFL, although I would say you can make the argument that it is getting a lot closer now with all the NIL and payments and everything. But I just think that you're going to get Belichick to get the team to play. He's already started to get some of his guys. He's taking, top recruits in the transfer portal. You got the corner, I think the corner from Washington was a big one for him. And I think he also got one of the top recruits in 26 for quarterback. Now, obviously that's not going into this year, but kind of, I don't know. I'm buying in. I am on North Carolina. I'm not saying that they win the regular season, but I think that they win the ACC championship.
I mean, they had a big transfer with quarterback with Gio Lopez from what is that? Jackson State. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kev. Mm-hmm. Is it Jackson State or is it South Alabama?
For
my
quarterback?
Yeah.
South Alabama.
So, yeah, Gio Lopez coming there, mobile quarterback. He got hurt near the end of the season. Exciting player to watch. So, I think he'll win I think he's already won the starting job. I have to double check in that.
And that's South Alabama coming from Rich Rod then, too.
Oh, no, he's coming from Jack State. Jackson.
Oh, Jackson.
Major Applewhite. Hook'em Horns is the head coach of South Alabama, one of my favorite Texas quarterbacks of all time.
There you go.
Major Applewhite.
Dude, it's such a great name, though.
It is. He got kind of screwed over because Chris Sims was on the team, and every time Chris Sims started messing up, Major would come in and save the game, and then he wouldn't start the next week because, his dad played for the Giants and won the Super Bowl. But that's another argument, another podcast. But Kev, and also the odds I see for North Carolina, I see plus 3,000 out there to win the ACC. Yep. So, yeah, man.
Yep. So
want to make some cash.
Damn.
Tar Heels. All right, Kev. Who you got, man?
I am on Clemson as well. I just don't see how they – honestly, I don't see how they don't win it. With the schedule that they have, I mean, they do have a tough one, but it's non-conference, so it won't count as far as them not winning. They do have to play LSU. But in conference, as we all know, the ACC is a little down. Their road games in conference are Georgia Tech. The North Carolina game could be a big one. It's at North Carolina, and then BC. But Georgia Tech should be down. Boston College should be down. They get SMU at home. They get Duke at home. They get Florida State at home. They have Louisville on the road too, so that'll be a tough little test as well. But overall, I think their schedule is one of the easier ones in conference. And then just top that off, Steve and I were talking off air a little bit about quarterbacks in college. And, Cade Klubnik is probably top 3 quarterback coming into the season, in the country. You could probably argue maybe some others, but I think worst case, he's, a top 5 quarterback as far as coming into the season. And then I think what some people also forget about Clemson is they had 2 really good freshman wide receivers, and TJ Moore and I think it's Bresco. I always forget his name, or Brian Wesco. Everybody was so focused because Ryan Williams was standout at Alabama, and Smith was a standout at Ohio State, so everybody was focused on them. And I think they forget that those 2 kids at Clemson had fantastic seasons as well. So, and like Trey said, Dabo finally decided to use the transfer portal, brought some guys in to kind of build that roster out. I don't see. I mean, you never say never, right? We didn't expect Florida State to be so shitty last year. So who knows? Somebody could jump up and take over, Clemson's spot. But I think there's a reason why they're such heavy favorites preseason, and I think they hold on to it.
All right. So for myself, I'm not going to break the trend here. I really do think Clemson is going to win the ACC. They were my ACC pick last year. To point out what Trey said, there were moves in the transfer portal. Dabo got a whopping 3 transfers. That's a big step in the right direction. It's a change. They're also have the highest returning production on both sides of the ball in the ACC. Percentage wise, it was around 76, 77 on both sides of the ball. So they were the highest. So, I mean, there's that experience. And then your starting quarterback coming back, who's a predicted first round draft pick this coming year, who put up 3,600 yards and 36 passing touchdowns. So, I mean, being a Texas fan and watching them, how tough they played against Texas, they're not a team that's, they're not falling off. And also, to kind of give credit to Dabo, by the way, if you listen to the College Hughes podcast, I don't really care for Dabo, but I'm going to give him credit for being able to keep these guys. And it's kind of a cycle at this point now. So you're going to look at this 3-4 year cycle that he's had these guys in his system. So this is the year where they're going to take that next step, win the ACC, and probably be a threat to for the national championship, in my opinion.
Yeah. Now, question for you though.
Well, actually, more Kev. This is kind of more for you. Dabo is not Hawaiian, right?
No, jeez.
There might be some lineage there that I'm unfamiliar with.
Sorry, I was just wondering. I will say I screenshotted the thing you sent on Instagram about the team you're playing with in college football. Dude, it cracked me up. Oh my god. Big picture of Hawaii. That was awesome. That made my day. That was awesome.
My dynasty pick, man. Building the squad.
Yeah. It was awesome.
I am fixing all the propaganda against me, fake news and everything else out there.
That was awesome. All right. So Steve, who you guys want to move into next?
We'll move into the Big Ten next. So hopping into the Big Ten, our top 3 teams, we have Ohio State at plus 210, followed by Penn State at plus 275, followed by Oregon at plus 280. Trent, you want to kick us off again?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I know Trey might faint when he hears this, but I'm going Penn State. I just think I know you lost Abdul Carter, but you gained Ohio State's defensive coordinator, which to me, it's a huge advantage. I haven't looked too much in schedules a whole lot, Does Penn State have Ohio State at Ohio State or at home this year?
It should be at
I mean,
Ohio State because they
It's at
played at
Ohio
It
State,
is.
yeah, because they
last
play.
year.
So that's kind of brutal, but I'm still gonna roll with it because I think with the 1-2 punch of the running backs, both of them coming back, a lot of the offensive line still intact. And then, like I said, it's another addition of a defensive coordinator, in my opinion, that he's a national champion, and he kind of has a chip on his shoulder because they kind of, I mean, rightfully so, but they shunned him from like any sort of like ring recognition or anything. So I think I want to make sure he shows that they should have paid a little bit more money to keep him there in Ohio State. So
It's good
Yeah.
angle, good angle. I mean,
That Ohio State game will be at night too, if that law passes. So
oh yeah, that's true.
we'll
No
see.
noon games.
sorry, Ohio State's so whack, man.
I hate him. I hate him.
I can't. stand it.
Wait. What new law?
You live under a
The-
rock, don't you, Trey?
So go ahead.
There's a
Kevin.
state legislator in the state of Ohio. I can't remember how long ago it was now. It's, I think April or maybe March. But he had proposed a law in their state committee that no home game is allowed to be played before 4:00.
What?
For a top 25 matchup.
They're making laws over their college football rankings and
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah, so you can't plant a flag, or you get it,
Gee, that's a
become
felony.
a felon. And they said there would be like a $10 million fine. And it's
Jeez.
Yeah,
like
if
it's
it's
not
not-
gonna pass. It's just
Yeah.
just ridiculous. You're just stop. Like, I'm sorry. I just don't
Yeah.
like Ohio State, and that just makes me not like them.
That's
either.
like-
Now
that's
you're like,
corny.
you give me all the ammo now. Like, you're soft. I can't wait for Texas to play them games.
That's not like a cool thing. That's kind of like corny. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bunch of
So,
cornballs.
Trey, you want to give us your pick
Yeah.
for? the
Yeah,
Big
I'm
Ten?
gonna echo Trent because they're my alma mater. I don't know if Trent's going with the reverse jinx kind of thing. He likes to do that. With
I'm pretty sure he is. I'm pretty sure he is.
No,
That's
I'm
why.
not,
That's why.
man.
That's why I side-eyed when he said. I was like,
Yeah, I got that vibe too. So I'm not gonna take that to
He
heart.
never takes when I support him. He never. My hate with them. My hate with them is they always let you down. That's what I hate about them. Is they
Yeah,
let
thanks.
you down.
Try living as a fan.
Yeah.
And it's awful. But yeah, to your point, Trent, the Ohio State defensive coordinator, I actually forgot about that. So that's just another bonus. But the fact that they have Katron Allen and Nick Singleton returning, that can just be the foundation of their whole season. And as long as Drew Aller improves and takes a step forward in his career, I think Penn State could be pretty dangerous. And they got him a weapon in the portal with Trevor Pena from Illinois.
Syracuse.
Okay. But yeah, I just think it's coming around. And like you said, Trent, the defensive coordinator, that's Penn State's, that's one thing I give them credit for is obviously they always have a good defense, but they reload that coordinator position with some good names. And that guy's great. They had, what's his name from, I think he's at Duke now.
No, well, yeah,
Manny
Manny.
Diaz.
Yeah.
Boys, I got a story about Manny Diaz. We'll get to that another
Yeah.
time. But yeah, it's low key personal. It's
Uh-oh.
yeah, it's
Uh-oh.
yeah, it's. I mean, he used to be a defensive coordinator for Texas, but there's even more to that for a personal connection with that. But yeah, I
do you run into him in an Applebee's or something?
Oh, okay. You know what? We can do story time real quick. I'll make it
yeah.
So, when he was a defensive coordinator at Texas, dating, I was the girl I was dating at the time. I go, it was during this time where you go on Facebook sometimes and just go on just hellacious rants.
Yeah.
And I don't really post crazy things except when it comes to Texas. And then it was Texas has been down for a
Yeah.
bit, and it was during that time our defense looked horrible, right? I'm getting used to being bad. I'm not used to this, and I'm just watching teams just score at will on us. So I just go on this whole rant. He needs to be fired. This is the worst defensive coordinator I've ever seen. I can't believe how far Texas has fallen. I was just whatever, what fans do. My girlfriend texts me. She goes, "Hey, just want to let you know, like my whole family saw your Facebook post." I was like, "Well, so?" I'm like, what? And like, I didn't cuss, like I didn't call him names, just say he needs to be fired. She's like, well, yeah, that's my uncle is his godfather. And I was like, oh,
my
okay.
God.
It's like, yeah. So I'm like, oh, all right. I'm like, I'll take it down and whatnot. So then later on, let's fast forward to Christmas that year.
No.
So I'm at Christmas that year. By the way, his dad was like the mayor of Miami, by the way. So down in Miami, this is right before I probably about 6-7 months before I moved down there. And her uncle's like, hey man, I know you're a big Texas guy. It's like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, you know, he's like, yeah, so yeah, it's really important. Like, I got you something for Christmas. And he gives me this gift and it opens it up, and it's just like picture in a frame.
Oh,
and
no.
it's Manny Diaz. He says, to Steve, hook 'em horns, Manny Diaz. And I was like, thanks, man. Like, I really appreciate
That's
that.
awesome.
That means so much. I'm sitting inside like, I'm like, he's not gonna last, but like we're firing his ass. Like, I'm just going, I'm like, I can't believe he did this. This dude's about to get kicked to the curb. Everybody in Texas hates this guy. I'm like, thanks, man. Really appreciate it. It's a really awesome gift, man. I'm gonna hang it up.
That is awesome.
So yeah,
That's
it's always been F Manny Diaz since then.
To be fair, he was a good coach. He was a good coach for us, at least.
Great defensive coordinator outside of Texas, because apparently he just figured out how to do stuff.
Oh,
Penn State, I'm sitting there like I'm punching the air because he's like got the best linebacker core in the country. They're just busting heads. I was like, who the hell's this guy? Like, who is this guy?
Do you think there's any chance that he did that on purpose?
Oh, absolutely.
Like he saw. Oh yeah,
absolutely. Because she, like I said, she texted me, was like, my family saw that, and like Steve, like, you know.
Do you think he told Manny?
She's like, what?
Do you think?
Probably. I'm not.
Oh man.
Yes, it's personal. I don't. He probably doesn't remember me, but I will remember Manny Diaz for the rest of my life.
That is so cool.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And then when I lived in Miami, then like we had Al Golden for a while. Then he gets hired as the head coach of Miami. I'm like, man, this is like it's time to move, man. Like, we broke up and I was out. So thank God by then, because I probably would have ran into him at like Thanksgiving or
Christmas.
Oh, you're Steve.
Yeah. Okay, hey, man. Like, listen, I ran into people I never thought I would ever run into. I ever tell you the Matt Leinart story?
No way.
No.
Yeah, so her cousin is
Same
Matt
girl?
Leinert's wife. Yeah, same girl.
What?
Wow.
And so at Thanksgiving, we're going, and she's like, hey, Steve, I'm going to tell you something. I need you to be on your best behavior. I'm like, why? I've been out with your family before. This is not a big deal. She's like, yeah, Matt Leinert's going to be there. And I was like, oh, this is so she's like, don't say anything to him. Like, don't. And I'm like, but can I bring up the national championship game? So we're there. Everything's going good. Dinner was good. Matt Leinert's a very nice guy, by the way. I have no problem with Matt Leinart. Fantastic gentleman. He's a great guy. Pray for the meal. Awesome guy. So later on in the night, people are talking to him like, oh, man, trying to. And then finally, I'm like, I see my chance. I walk up to him like, hey, man, just want to tell you something. You gave me the greatest day of my life. And he's like, what? He thought I'm talking about USC, championship game. I was like, yeah, man, I'm a big Texas guy, bro. I just want to let you know, listen, bro, if Reggie didn't win the, Heisman, I thought it was either going to be you or Vince. I'm lying to him. I thought Vince, and I was like, but listen, I was like, that was the greatest game I've ever seen in my life. I'm sorry you're on the other side. He just kind of laughed it off, but I wasn't a jerk to him. I'm not gonna. He could care less, but I'm like, but I was just like, I got to say something. I cannot be in the same house with Matt Leinart and not bring up the greatest day of my life. So, yeah, man,
that's awesome.
Sorry to rant for myself for.
No, that's all right. That was a good story.
I love it.
Who else is this ex-girlfriend now?
I was gonna say.
She's still in Miami. I think she's married.
She's married to the head coach of Hawaii now.
And it all comes full circle.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah,
I think
Tyler,
didn't
your
she-
Big
didn't-
Ten pick.
She didn't date the. Didn't she date the like Delonte West at one point or something? Just kidding.
That's LeBron's mom.
Oh, that's right. All right, I'll keep it short and sweet.
What the hell?
I can't believe Delonte West just came up on this episode. What the hell?
All right, I'm going Oregon here.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, honestly, it's just the Dan Lanning effect, man. You know, I don't have too much to say about them other than the fact that Dan Lanning just gets his team to win. So I think Oregon's due. I feel like Oregon has constantly been close so many years in a row, and I feel like it's kind of getting to that time. So I would say that, you know, if not, I'm not saying that Dan Lanning's seat is hot or anything like that, but like I think it's time for them to start, you know, winning some big games. You know, not just.
I mean, they did win. They did win the Big Ten.
Big Ten last year, yeah.
I know what I'm saying.
Well,
like, how many times have they been close to winning a national championship? And everybody's, oh, it's
Yeah.
Oregon, it's Oregon, and all of a sudden they just lay an egg.
So Tyler, it's kind of interesting that you say that because you have a tendency to always bet against Penn State in their biggest game of the year.
Oh my God.
And guess who Oregon plays in the whiteout this year? Or I'm sorry, guess who Penn State plays at home night game whiteout?
Oregon.
Is it going to be night
Yep.
game, actually? Is that
Oh,
going to be the
Right.
Yep.
big noon kickoff on Fox?
It's already been announced.
Okay, all right, good. Because I was mad as hell when they played
No,
Ohio
yeah.
State during the day. I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. That's
So
All right.
just interesting to see how you picked that week then.
Well, I'm not betting on it. Lose that fucking bet every time I take it.
He's like 0 for 8. It's crazy. It's easiest money.
So stupid.
all right, Kev. Who you rolling with the Big Ten?
I am with Tyler. I am taking Oregon.
Let's do it. Quack quack,
Sorry,
baby.
Trey. I can't trust Penn State as much as I want to. I actually really like Penn State, as you mentioned, with Allen and Singleton. Aller, in my opinion, is a top 3 quarterback coming into the season. I think he's going to take a step up, but I just don't trust. I don't trust your coach. I feel like he's going to make mistakes in big games. We saw that in the game against Ohio State. You guys have to play Ohio State and Oregon. The only tough game Oregon really has on their schedule is at Penn State. And I think they can go. I know it'll be, as you just told us, it'll be at night. So that'll be a little different than a big noon game. But
Yep.
I like Dan Lanning. I think if he's not the best coach, he's close, right?
I agree with that.
He's done very well. I know he doesn't have a national championship, but he's been very successful at Oregon, knows how to manipulate the game. We saw that when they played Ohio State last year in Oregon. So, yeah, just if I could trust your coach, I would take Penn State.
I understand. That's fair.
All right.
What is he, like 1-18 against top 10 teams or 20?
Yeah, right.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's actually comical, like how he can't do it.
He breaks my heart, man. I try to believe in him. Yes, Kev, last year, man. It was always
me
like,
and
listen,
Steve bet on them like 3 or 4 times, including that Ohio State
this is
game.
it. This is where he gets over the hump every time, and then he just broke my heart every time, man.
No way.
For myself for this year, I'm going a lot of chalk, and I wanted to fade the chalk for the Big Ten. I'm going to shake things up. I went with Illinois plus 5,500. All right, listen, hear me out. Looking at their schedule, right? They're at Indiana. We're going to assume Indiana has some regression from last year. Versus USC. That home versus USC. USC is not who they are, kind of soft, kind of a disappointment. Against Ohio State at home, and they're at Wisconsin. So those are the 4 toughest in conference games. He's returning the most experienced team. his quarterback near the end of the season was hurt, Luke Altmaier, who is a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah.
And I mean, Brett, their head coach, man, he's like one of those like, oh man, this dude's a dog, right? His team represents his personality. And I just feel like with their schedule they have, there's a good chance they could steal the Big Ten. Because we're looking at Ohio State. We got very talented team top to bottom. Question mark, quarterback. We see what Ohio State can do when their quarterback is either good or really good. We see how they have CJ Stroud. We see what their success has been and what it took for them to actually win a championship. The quarterback they have now, do you think they can win a championship with? There's probably, I mean, we're all guessing here. Probably not. Dan Lanning has to win the big game. James Franklin has to win the big game. They play each other, right? So,
good point.
Illinois avoids all those guys and has to play Ohio State only. So, if they can get over Ohio State, still a win at home against Ohio State, there's a good possibility they could. So that's what I'm going with them in my way too early pick.
That kind of sounds like Indiana last year,
right? Like it's
you know what I mean? Where it's like
if they lose a game they're supposed to win, they're done. Like it's
right.
throw it out the window. But if they handle biz and then still against Ohio State, there's a good chance they could win the Big Ten. And if, let's say Ohio State trips up because they do have to play Penn State. If James Franklin finally wins that big game against Ohio State at the Horseshoe, then Ohio State's got a loss. The only thing is if Penn State wins out, that might be the issue that comes with that. But then if it comes into play where James Franklin does James Franklin things, they might trip up. So I'm gonna I'll take a shot with plus 5,500. That's my logic behind it.
It's a solid bet, and very logical too. As you
so
said.
It's certain things have to fall into place, but why not? Throw a couple shots.
I thought Brett Bielema was the guy that crashed with a girl in the back of his motorcycle, but it was
no. That's
you don't make fun of me for names again.
Arkansas's offensive coordinator. Oh wow, my mind went blank.
Let me look it up.
Who is it, Kev?
I can picture him.
He's wearing the neck brace and he's got road rash all over his face.
Yeah.
Let me look it up. Oh, it's Bobby Petrino.
Yes. He was with some female he shouldn't have been with, and got in an accident on his motorcycle. But yeah, it's interesting situation there. So we're going to hop in to the Big 12.
Bielema.
Yeah, it's a tough name to say. I just call him Brett.
not Bielema. It's Bielema. Brett Bielema.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Don't make fun of me for Kupka again.
And Finale and everything else.
Hey Tyler, man, I say names wrong all the time. I ask Kev, I don't give a damn. Like I'm gonna call you what I called you. All right.
We knew what you meant. That's all. That's what matters.
All right, so hopping into the Big 12. I actually included 4 teams here. What they're kind of telling us here is they don't know who the hell is going to win the Big 12.
Yep.
So the best odd team wise, Kansas State at plus 550. Utah, for some reason, at some places at plus 550 or plus 700 in some places. Texas Tech is plus 550 or plus 600 in some places. And Arizona State is plus 550 or plus 600 in some places. So you're essentially looking at almost a 4-way tie of teams odds-wise who could win the Big 12. And that's what makes it kind of difficult because just how the race ended last year, with it coming down to crazy stipulations and wins over who and whatnot. So, Tyler, want to kick us off?
Yep, 2 words: Red Raiders, baby.
Yeah,
Texas Tech. I am all on Texas Tech. Highest NIL. Brought in 21 guys out of the transfer portal. I think they are paying them over $25 million. Here's the kicker, though, is that if they want to get in there, they've only had one double-digit win since 1977 as a program.
Jeez.
Yep.
So if they only get to that 9, they're not gonna, it's not gonna go. So they have to be successful, in order to get to the playoff, go forward and make it. But honestly, I think the fact that they have that much money invested and bringing in that many guys, I think you can kind of see that it's kind of like chips are out. It's like we're all in here. So I'm going Texas Tech. Texas Tech has been one of my favorite teams to bet on in college football in the last 2 years. So they usually, I don't know, the last couple of years, they've always kind of, I guess, undersold them a little bit, where you can usually get them like plus 6.5, plus 7.5. And I was hammering it every single week, and every single week I was pretty profitable. So I'm all over Texas Tech.
All right.
I will second that pick. They not only spent probably the most, but they also have the number 1 ranked transfer portal class that came in. And Morton is returning as their quarterback, experienced quarterback play. Kind of like how you started out, Steve. It's wide open in my opinion. So I'm going Texas Tech here.
Trey.
I like Arizona State. I'm sorry. Yeah, Arizona State. Yeah. I like Kenny Dillingham. I think he's a great coach. And you got Levitt. I don't think that's how you say it.
Yep.
He's returning. And I think those are 2 most important things in college football, especially if you have a good coach. And then you got a returning quarterback with a lot of experience. So, yeah, I'm going with them.
Yeah, Arizona State, one of their best wide receivers was hurt in the playoffs, which was a big missing piece for them this year. So him coming back is huge for Levitt, and I'm interested to see what they can do this year. And Kev,
I like them.
Who you rolling with, Kev?
So this one is tough. And the sportsbooks know it's going to be tough. So I kind of went off of just vibes, I guess is the best way to describe it. And I'm going with Arizona State too. I love their coach, Sam Levitt. Got some huge experience last year, helping leading that team to the playoff. As you just alluded to, Steve, I can't think of his name now, but he was hurt at the end of the year. I think if he's back healthy, gives Levitt somebody an elite pass catcher to throw to all season. I think they hang on. I'm nervous because when I look at their schedule, they do have to go at Iowa State, excuse me. That should be a tough little matchup, and then playing at Utah is always a little difficult as well. So a little nervous about those 2 games, but I think they can win the others. They'll be in the mix again. It's just a question if the kid can stay healthy at wide receiver, and what kind of team does Iowa State have after having multiple draft picks this year. So
Jordan Tyson.
Yes.
That's the wideout's name.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, kid was nice. For myself, I looked up and down the board. I wanted to find a team I wanted to pick. I couldn't pick Texas Tech. There's everything's personal for me. That's how I go through with college football. Every other sport, I take emotions out of it. Man, when it comes to college football, like I still have nightmares about Michael Crabtree ruining my season years and years ago. But they do have a good team. They are investing, so happy to see the Red Raiders making some moves. Hopefully they could become one of the big boys in the Big 12. It's been years and years, since they had the Pirate there coaching with the Air Raid. But the team I went with was Baylor. Now, Baylor, if you looked at their record overall, finishing 8-4, it wasn't I don't know, not much to expect. But the way they ended the season, winning 6 straight, when they finally settled on a quarterback, because that's the thing, they were playing rotating quarterbacks the first 4 or 5 games of the season. Yeah. First 6 games of the season, they went 2-4. After they settled on the quarterback Sawyer Robertson, they went 6 straight. The kid is nice. They have a solid team. Dave Aranda is finally turning this program around. They was in about 5-6 years. This is the most wins they've had. So step in the right direction. I feel like they're gonna build on that. And looking at their schedule, other than Kansas State and TCU, maybe Utah game would be a tough game, but then again, we don't know their situation and how they're going to look. Those are their 3 toughest games, in my opinion, because looking at, in Arizona State.
They play Arizona State, but they get Arizona State and Kansas State at home. So
yeah, so those are home games for them. I feel, as much as I do like Arizona State, so nothing against your picks and how strong that team is. I just feel the experience with Sawyer Robertson playing at home is going to go against Arizona State. And then also, like, I feel Cam Scatterbo was such a big driver and leader of that team. Who's going to step into that role? That's the question. And we could know by week 3, like, who's stepping up and leading that team. But you could tell, like, he was a leader on that team and could pull them up and go, like, pick your heads up. We're not out of this game. Let's handle biz. And you need those guys. It's not on the stat sheet, but I feel this team is built to compete in the Big 12. And as you see by the odds, they don't know exactly who's going to pull away in this. It could come down to the last week of the season again, where you need to. They play Houston, so I mean, Houston's in a rebuild type of year, and everyone else in the Big 12, they're going to be beating up on each other. So that's why I like Baylor in this spot. They're plus 900.
Yeah, it's a solid pick.
And finally, the SEC. It just means more conference. Listen, man, before we get in, I do feel that kind of way about SEC. It's weird watching how people who are SEC fans, and I know, Tyler, you're a Tennessee guy, but I don't put you in that category of the SEC fans, because you're not like, well, if they're SEC team, I'm going to cheer for them. Like, I don't get that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see. Yeah. I don't care about anybody else but my team. Like, I don't.
I cheer against the SEC except for my team.
Yeah, like that's
like anytime the SEC is playing, it's like I will cheer for the other team, because honestly, I wish Tennessee wasn't in the SEC because I hate the SEC.
Yeah, I didn't know how bad it was until Texas was in the SEC. Then all of a sudden it was like, you guys are weird. Like I don't care if you guys are listening to this and you're big. Hey, listen, you're weird. Like I don't. It's
kind of like two teams are playing and then the other team's like sitting there in the chair just watching.
The cup chair.
I see what you did there. Exactly. Man, like
Trey called it out right away.
It's weird because like I understand like defending your conference and the competition and everything, but like coaches like they get like I don't know, weird whenever they get asked about their conference.
And all these delusional takes, just like, well, we play in the toughest conference. Like, well, then win your damn games, man. You lost to teams with losing records.
The head of the conference just said they don't need the NCAA anymore.
Yeah, Greg Sankey is delusional, and I don't. He just sits around and smells his own farts all day. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like these dudes, like. That's why I was like, anything bad that happens to the SEC, if they get screwed over and not picked, like I'm like, oh well, should have won your games. Like I don't care how you guys are all claiming your fame to two teams and really hitching your wagon on one team. But I'll give Georgia, I'll put Georgia up there with Alabama. But you're hitching everybody else is hit. Like no, it doesn't work that way. So like I'm not gonna like. Big 12, I'm not sitting there and going, well, they're a Big 12 team, so yeah, we're gonna go for them no matter what. Like, no, I want to watch Oklahoma lose. I was laughing when Oklahoma's lost their bowl game. Why? Because it's Oklahoma. I'm not cheering for my conference. I don't care. So I'm not gonna turn around and brag about it. So I don't know. So the number one team, Texas Longhorns, at plus 250. Followed by the Georgia Bulldogs plus 375, followed by Alabama at plus 500, the top three odds.
I'll keep it short and sweet here. I'm keeping it as chalk as possible. I'm going Texas.
Good pick.
Mm.
Fantastic pick.
I'm going
Fantastic.
Texas.
Fantastic pick.
I
I will
say
Arch Manning, man. I'm all on that. So that's it.
Yeah. Well, I think getting his first full year as the starter is going to be huge. And I think Texas will. I don't want to say it. They're going to be like the last one standing, because I think the best thing that happened was when the SEC got rid of the two divisions, because now Georgia actually has to play like challenging games during the regular season. Like they play Bama. They play Texas.
You would think, but they
but-
don't.
Is their schedule back easy again? God damn it!
They only have
But-
3 road games.
Oh my god!
Total.
How did
All
Kirby
season.
Smart pull that shit off? But anyway, I liked that it was kind of a bloodbath last year, where you actually saw these. There wasn't. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was an elite tier, right? We saw that as the playoff happened, but I don't know. I think Texas with Sarkisian, with Manning, I think the hype is real. I hope the hype is real, because I like the Mannings in general. So I'm going Texas.
Yeah, we might be getting another legacy coming through too with
Phillip Rivers,
Gunnar
son.
Gunnar Rivers, but we'll see. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah.
Nuts.
He's
Trent,
the first of
or
like
Trey.
6 of them.
Trey, who you got? Say, I know he's got so many kids.
Yeah. Man, my head's telling me to pick Texas just because of Arch, and he could just blow up. And I feel like Texas just is good at reloading like their lines a lot. Man, but I really think for some reason that Tennessee and Heupel are gonna shock the world. I think Nico was the story, like in the offseason, him leaving and surprising everyone. They got Joey Aguilar from UCLA, but he's from Appalachian State. I just think he's doing the right thing with the program, and they responded the right way. And I could just see them being like a storyline. So I'm going to go Tennessee.
All right, Tennessee is plus
it's not already reverse
1800
jinx.
100% reverse jinx.
No, it was not. I like Tennessee. I really do.
I mean, Trey, defense-wise, they're going to have a top 5 defense. That's what they're going to have. Quarterback-wise with Aguilar, some people are making arguments right now that maybe it's almost an upgrade for them at quarterback. The hype around Nico was the potential that he has. So
didn't pan out. I think he was overrated, man. And I was all on the hype.
And we all were, man. He's the size, like it looked like he was about to be the next great thing, which 2 years he might be, who knows. But it just at the end of the season, I was like, they got some work to do. And also, you said, Trey, about Heupel. Heupel has worked with less at quarterback, and these guys put up 4,000 yards and just air that thing out. So it could work out that way. Yeah. I mean, I haven't looked at their schedule as far as how tough it was, because it's in prep for the show, but pulling it up right now, I mean, you're at Alabama, which is a tough game, and we don't know where Alabama's going to be. I'm giving Alabama the benefit of the doubt that they're going to be better, especially with their coach that they have. I do respect him. DeBoer is a good coach, and he's got his quarterback. So we'll see where that goes. I mean,
Nelson brought back his offensive coordinator too.
Yeah, right. He's got his boy. So he's gonna turn Alabama to his image, which is not Nick Saban's image of what a team is. But we see what DeBoer's done with teams. So he is a winner. But Tennessee has Alabama at Alabama, and you play at Florida. That's at Florida. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I mean, you don't have – you have Georgia early in the schedule. Mm-hmm. You have Georgia, then UAB, which is odd, but you have –
That's what the SEC does.
Well, no, they usually put it for the end of the season. Every other team was – so I respect Heupel for not putting a cookie cutter the game before the last game of the season. That
Exactly.
shit's weak to me. I hate that.
Going to the playoffs strong.
Right. So Georgia's going to be a tough game. You play that at home, and we know that's tough to play there. Against Arkansas, you guys should win that. Alabama's going to be a tough game. At Kentucky's probably going to be a tough game. There's always a tough game at Kentucky. Oklahoma's a win. New Mexico State should be a win for you guys. And Florida's a sneaky team for the SEC, in my opinion, but we have to wait and see. And then you end the season against Vandy. And I don't think the Pavia Magic's going to be there this year. Much as I love the guy, I just don't think it's going to be there. And you're playing them at home. So, yeah, man, solid pick.
Shock the world.
And Kev, who you got, man?
I am rolling with LSU, backing the Gus bus. They do have a difficult schedule. They have to play at Alabama, at Oklahoma, at Ole Miss. They have Texas A&M at home, Arkansas at home, Florida at home. So they have a pretty difficult schedule in general. And it's actually, honestly, this pick is just because I can't pick Georgia. Georgia's probably honestly my pick, but I just can't do it. I can't pick. I just can't. I just don't like Kirby Smart. I don't like that program. Because the other thing that LSU actually has in common with Penn State, Trey, is I think Brian Kelly makes a lot of mistakes. So that's what I'm worried about as well. They should have won that Texas A&M game last year. And that was just coaching was just awful there in the second half.
Takes some really cool 360 selfies with his players, though.
He's a great dancer and great accent.
Yeah, multiple.
But LSU always has good players. They're basically wide receiver right? It's always next man up for them in the wide receiver room. Nussmeier's arguably the best quarterback coming into this year. Obviously, we'll see how everything plays out, but they usually have a pretty good defense, top 10. Like I said, the schedule worries me. Brian Kelly worries me. But there was no way I was picking Kirby Smart in Georgia.
All right, round us up, Steve.
All right, so I have a thing about publicly picking my team for the conference championship. I can't do it. I probably will bet on it, throw a couple dollars on it, but I'm already invested emotionally in this. So last thing I need to do is have some money on it. Kevin's been with me been around me watching plenty of Texas game where I go Jekyll and Hyde on my own team. Quinn Ewers has been called all types of names and what the hell is Sark doing? And all of a sudden I'm saying Sark is a freaking genius, and I knew like a whole time, man. But I love my team. I would love to see them win. But I'm gonna pick somebody else. So I'm gonna go with Florida. I'm really big on DJ Lagway. Their coaches his back's against the wall this year. He's got to do something.
Wow.
It's their defense is going to be a top 10 defense next year. Their offense is going to have a healthy DJ Lagway who's going to assist with the run game. The run game is going to be one of the top in the SEC. He's going to be able to extend plays. Their O-line is going to be better. I really feel they could take some steps, and they might be able to catch a game where they beat Georgia. Maybe, I'm going to give them one game they drop, and that'll be against Texas. But after that, they won't lose a game. And I looking at their schedule, they have
tough.
It is a tough schedule. It is a tough schedule.
They had a tough schedule last year too, though.
They had one of the toughest schedules last year.
Yeah, they're playing Miami and Florida State again, and then in conference at LSU, at Texas A&M, at Ole Miss, Home against Georgia, home against Texas, home against Tennessee.
I'm gonna make an argument against all of them, but Texas, right? Texas A&M, 8-4 or less, so they're gonna choke a game. Is that Texas A&M? Sorry, listen, DJ Lagway is going to take a step and surprise a lot of people in the SEC. It's when he's healthy, he's probably one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the SEC.
They might have won that Georgia game had he not gotten hurt.
They absolutely would have won that game. I believe that wholeheartedly. They would have won that game. Ole Miss is going to Ole Miss, right? It's
Yeah.
They have Tennessee at home. It's going to be a tough game. Florida State is. I don't think Florida State is going to be as good as they were 2 years ago? 2 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago.
Kentucky's going to be. Yeah, I mean it's going to be a tough season. It'll be a tough season.
They got another tough schedule again.
Tough schedule. They're going. It's. I like them as a long shot just because the X factor at quarterback. Because we just didn't see enough of DJ Lagway because the injury, and then when he was healthy, he was making plays, and I just, I feel like that's what's going to elevate them over these really tough games. Yeah. Maybe the Georgia game's going to be tough because that's the biggest outdoor cocktail party, and that's always a tough game. But like the Texas A&M game, I don't believe in Texas A&M.
Don't trust them.
LSU game, that's probably that's their opening SEC game, and that's at Death Valley. So we're gonna know right there if my prediction about DJ Lagway is for real. And also I want to shout out, they opened their season against the Long Island Sharks.
There you go, LIU.
Wow. How fitting.
Comes full circle.
It does.
Yep. So I thought it was only fitting that I go with Florida. Right. Maybe get to see them on TV a little bit. Get to see Long Island Shark action. Hopefully, they don't hang. They don't hang 75 on them. LIU slows them down. They only score like 60.
Are they light blue? Are they like light blue and yellow?
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a football team when we played in the NEC. They were only basketball, I believe.
Right. That's fairly new. I don't know how many years they've had a team now, but yeah, man. Let's go Sharks.
All right.
Love it. Anything else college football? Because I love it. I love actually being able to talk college football. Like I'm ready to go. I'm ready to watch some games this weekend.
Gosh.
Almost, man. Almost. Hey, well, we got some football this weekend. We have the UFL championship with the DC Defenders trying to get that championship and bring it back to DC.
I feel you. I actually always like DC Defenders just because of their name.
The beer snake.
Yeah.
I don't think I was is there a roughneck?
It used to be Houston.
Yeah. Not there anymore?
For DC?
No. Isn't there roughnecks?
In the league, yeah, there was. I don't know if they still are since they combined. The Houston Roughnecks, I believe it was.
Yeah, I got so confused when they dissolved into like combined teams. Like,
combined.
I used to like the San Antonio team. I don't even remember who they were.
They were the Brahmas, I think.
They're still there. They combined the USFL with the UFL XFL.
XFL.
Yeah.
It's the Houston Roughnecks. They're still a team.
Yeah. I've watched like 2 games all season, man. It's
and the Battle Hawks. Man, they got the Showboats.
And that's still
McCarron,
like a quarter of the game.
Does McCarron still play quarterback for the Battle Hawks?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's loving life. He said he likes it because he's like, my kids get to watch me play. I'm still playing football, and it's probably stress levels are nowhere near NFL levels. So he's just like,
it's probably decent money too. Make a living
for a quarterback, especially him. He'll get decent money.
All right.
Oh,
so let's finish this out here. A couple rankings. like to do these here, especially with some guests. So we got our guys you'd like to have a beer with here with the baseball. So this is really kind of all the baseball really touch on here. It's the important stuff. But up at the top here, you can see pop the tops. Then you got nice set of chugs, raise a glass, big gulps, and then his said he'll do one. So looking at those up at the top, I won't recap necessarily everybody, but down here at the bottom, we got Greg Maddox. We have Kenny Lofton. We got Freddie Freeman, Gunnar Henderson, and then we got
Johnny
Johnny
Damon.
Dame.
Yeah, no, I couldn't think of his last name. I was like, Johnny Damon. Completely slipped my mind. So, and I definitely went with Red Sox Johnny Damon versus like the clean cut look that he had when he had to go to the Yankees there for a while. But
Remember how crazy that was that he shaved that off when he joined the Yankees?
Yeah.
I was so disappointed because he was like he had a look. It was like, what the hell are you doing? I wouldn't even gone to the Yankees if they would have made me do that.
Oh no, man, that paycheck, boy! Everything. I shaved my whole body.
Listen. I almost I almost didn't take a job one time because they wanted me to actually shave my facial hair and told me I couldn't wear my earrings, and I was like, I don't know about this. I ended up kind of working a way around it, but yeah, I almost didn't take a job, so I don't know, man.
I don't know, Tyler. They're
enough money will make you do
$150 million, bro.
Everyone's got a number.
I'm gonna be mad at Trent and Tyler for not talking. Like, what the hell are you doing, bro? Hold him down.
If the Yankees call, Steve turns into a naked mole rat.
Wax it. Just rip it all off.
All right. We can kind of start wherever you guys think. Greg Maddox, Kenny Lofton, Freddie Freeman, Gunnar. Anyone stick out?
Yeah, there's one that sticks out to me.
Go
ahead. Freddie Freeman. He said he'll do one.
Ooh, okay. Any reason?
Yeah, he's just a really good family guy, but probably doesn't partake in a lot of like party activities. So you get him to come out for a beer with you, it's like, holy crap, guys, Freddie's coming out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
I've got Gunnar Henderson spot in my opinion.
Okay,
nice set of chugs.
Yes, because I feel like he's a young up and comer, and he's going to chug some beers. He's kind of like
you guys
outdoor woodsman type style.
Yeah, he's got like a mustache. A lot of fun guys. Like, you know what I mean?
Get a little foam in the stash, you know?
Yeah.
Guys with the stash.
He's done some keg stands.
Yeah.
I was personally leaning Kenny Lofton with big gulps, huh?
Yeah, I like that. I was thinking Greg Maddox for raise a glass.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right. I like that. So all right. Kenny Lofton's big gulps, Greg Maddox, raise a glass. And I think that's perfect. Because I think we've been talking about like Johnny Damon, we said to pop the tops, like guys that probably had the best stories.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine that Boston Red Sox locker room with
that's what I'm saying.
With all those guys during that time. Oh Lord, they were drinking during games half the time. Didn't that come out later? Like,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, baseball's awesome, man.
Kevin Millar and all them. Yeah.
It is awesome.
Smoking cigarettes and
like even the other night, I'm like sitting there watching. I'm watching the Cubs. I think it was Cubs Phillies in like the 11th inning. I'm like looking at the pitcher for the Phillies. I'm like, this dude is probably like 300 some pounds, and he's playing professional baseball, pitching out there. Like, good for the big guys out there that can play a pro sport that's not lineman. There you go.
Exactly.
It's and these unwritten rules are kind of, I don't know. We had a talk on the on our show on Monday of kind of how do you guys feel about celebrating? And you can finish up. I'm sorry, we can handle off.
No, you're good. Like you talking about like baseball celebrating?
Yeah, like do you think the game would get better? Because like during the weekend series with what was it, the Yankees and Red Sox?
Yeah.
And Chaz Jizzle
Tiz on the jizz.
Jizz on the tiz. Jazz Chisholm they had him, you know how they do interviews while the game is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he mentioned like he feels there should be more trash talking in baseball. And we got on the subject of that. And of course there's like lines you don't cross, but like a little jaw jacking and like a pitcher hitting somebody, because pitchers know where to hit players where it's not going to like end their career or put them out for the game. But you give them a little love tap, and I don't know. I feel, and I agree. Like I think we should bring back some trash talking, even if it's some division rivalries. I think that helps baseball out if it's like that. Now I'm not saying like in college when dudes hit a home run and they're just talking shit to just every person.
I was gonna say, college is insane.
But I find that for the college game, but like the pro game, like that's where I'm like, all right, like come on, bro, you've hit a home run before, relax. Like, but then again, if there's trash talking leading up to that, or guys giving hot takes, or even tweets where they're just kind of talking trash about somebody. Leading up to that game or whatever it is, it just builds to a rivalry. When then if he does talk shit the whole way after hitting a home run or like a walk off, I don't know. It's not like you're hurting. Like everybody always talk about role model to kids, right? And it's like, well, you guys have sons and they're watching baseball and they see one of their teams and they hit a walk off and the dude's talking trash to everybody. And like, your kid's gonna be celebrating. Or if it's against your kid's team, they're gonna be like, I hate that guy. And next time we play him, I hope we beat him. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Could I say the difference that I see though is like we kind of touched on this the other episode. I think it was last week, Ty. You and I said this about when we were talking college. I said I feel like there's more trash talk in college baseball, but then I don't feel like maybe because I don't follow it as much, but you don't see as many like fights breaking out. Whereas in professional baseball, as soon as the talk starts going, then they fight. Do you know what I mean? Like bench clearing brawls or guys throwing a punch in the base pad. Like, I don't know. Like, that's where I'm like, okay, I get it. Professionals, they don't want to talk a lot of shit. But then as soon as they do, they just fight and then they get fined, whereas in college, they just talk shit and then give the shit back. And I like that more. I don't know, a little more freedom. But
I'm fine with it both ways. I think the bat toss.
You would be good with the both
okay,
ways.
there we go. I knew it was coming. Yeah.
It's a nice set of chugs, Trey.
Yeah.
Tiz on the tiz.
No, but I think the bat tosses, the pumping your chest a little bit, maybe talking is fine. But then I think you also have to be fine with getting thrown at, and not like within reason. Like if you're throwing a heater at a dude's head or face, like no, you can kill someone and like put them out for their career. But I'm talking like the meat of their leg, or even just throwing behind them. Like give them a little warning, like hey, it's not gonna fly here. And with kids watching, then if they see something like that and they're like, oh, what happened? Then explain to them, like, if you want to celebrate and show off, then you're probably going to get hit with the ball next time. That's just how baseball is. Like, you know what I mean? Teach them the game. Like,
Yeah, I don't think it hurts the game having them talk trash. I think it makes us want to watch, and baseball is already struggling to get people to watch because, we can't watch stuff half the time on YouTube TV, but they have awful media deals, but like you want to bring people to watch your sport, man. Like NBA struggling. Every other sport except for football is the only sport that's like not struggling.
Yeah.
So
it's king.
You gotta do stuff to stand out. I don't know. That was something I want to get you guys' opinion on because you guys are baseball guys and probably watch hundreds of hours more than I've watched. But even I'm like, I want to see more trash talking. I want to see the Yankees and Red Sox not like each other instead of they used, they use old clips when they used to didn't like each other. Now it's just there's Judge up to bat, hit a home run, and he just trots around. I want to see.
Oh yeah, he's running so slow.
Right, like I want to see people talking trash. I want to see the Nats versus let's say the Orioles, and they're just not like we don't play each other all the time, but when we play against each other, it's like okay, like they're gonna talk some shit and somebody might get hit, like Trey said, and I think Kev pointed that out on Monday night too. Like you can expect to get hit, But these guys are professional pitchers. They know where to hit guys where you're not taking them out for their career or even the game. Like you say, you hit them in the ass, call it a day, and they might charge. They get, you got to do the fake separation, and then you move on with the day, So
yeah. I mean, the two problems with it, which I shared when we were talking about it on Mondays, in the professional game, the batters need then to expect again to get hit. Yeah. But the other side of the problem with that is umps are too prone to throwing guys out now.
Yeah, that's fair.
There is no more warnings anymore. There is no, I understand this is unwritten rules, so you're going to get hit. It's, you hit this guy intentionally, you're out of the game.
Yeah.
I think why you see it more in college is because the pitchers don't throw at them in college. Part of that's because they're erratic. So at some point during the game, there's usually I don't know how much of the regionals and super regionals you guys watch, but in all the games I watched, there were probably 3 hit batsmen a game. Yeah. And that's just because they can't control it as well. But
yeah. Good point. All right. You guys ready for the last contest here? All right. These are guys that would win a bench press contest. You got head honcho, tougher than the $2 state, shredded stalwart, do you even lift, bro, and flabby patties. So down at the bottom, as you guys can see, we got Darren Dalton. We have Anthony Santander. We have Mike Piazza, Pudge Rodriguez, and CC Sabathia. Wow. I kind of have this already like in my head.
I can tell you flabby patties.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That Trey's already thinking the same thing I am. Go ahead, Trey. Yeah.
CC's got to be flabby patties.
That's kind of where I had him too.
Hey, he lost a lot of weight, so they are kind of flabby, I'm sure now. Yeah. But it's okay.
I'm leaning Darren Dalton as more of a shredded stalwart.
Yep. He's jacked. I've never seen him, but that guy's huge.
Yeah. I had no idea who that was.
Darren, really? Come on. All right.
I mean, out of that group, I think Pudge's got to be head honcho. But
I was gonna say that too. Yeah.
You think Pudge? Because I don't know. I'm between Pudge and Mike Piazza.
Mike Piazza's tougher than a $2 steak.
I think either one of those I think those are your top 2 out of that group of 5.
All right, well, let's go.
Yeah, a guy who plays in New Jersey, I think I would put him at tougher than a $2 steak.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right.
And Santander, yeah, who knows what he's doing? Is he even left?
Bro.
All right. There's your third ranking. So we got one more of those. Then we get to actually dip into some new rankings, but we'll get into that later. Anything else, guys?
Oh, man, it's been great.
Another great show.
All the dads out there, have a great Father's Day, guys.
Yeah.
Hey. Magic.
How did you do that?
Yeah, Trent, that was magic.
Dude, he has all these weird shit.
I don't know what it
Trent,
is.
Give us the thunder.
Where do you see
give
this
us the
one?
thunder.
Wait, what is it? This one?
I think it might be thumbs down.
No, I think it's this double. There we go.
There it is.
What?
Yeah. What is that?
Trent's got the magic down there. I got you.
No idea why. We like accidentally found that out one week when I like gave like a thumbs up and like something happened when I gave like a thumbs up. I forget. I had a double thumbs up. That's right. Used to be
wrong.
Yeah. I know double thumbs down makes it rain, but it used to make that rain and all that. And we're like, what the hell is that?
Doing it.
Yeah, it's awkward.
All right. Appreciate you guys coming on. Have a great Father's Day weekend. There he is. All right. See you guys later.
All right. See ya.